of days. Here you have a picture of Jesus walking with his disciples. Jesus healing Peter's mother-in-law. Jesus healing other people. Jesus expelling demons. Jesus praying by himself. And Jesus preaching all over Galilee. That in just a couple of days. So this mini workshop is about Jesus healing Peter's mother-in-law, healing other people, praying by himself, preaching all over Galilee, and driving out demons. This gospel is documented in Mark chapter 1, verses 29 to 39. And you can also find these miracles in Matthew 8, 14 to 17, and also in Luke chapter 4, verses 38 to 41. This is Alejandro Burgos from El Paso, Texas. When required, references will be taken from the Good News Translation Catholic Bible, the Catechism of the Catholic Church, and also the book Understanding Jesus' Miracles and Parables. This mini workshop will be partially based on the book Understanding Jesus' Miracles and Parables, chapter 9, part 2. Jesus heals Peter's mother-in-law and many people. Deconstructing the Gospel of Mark chapter 1, verses 29 to 39. Jesus and his disciples came to the town of Capharnaum, and on the next Sabbath, Jesus went to the synagogue and began to teach. Jesus and his disciples, including James and John, left the synagogue and went straight to the home of Simon and Andrew. Simon's mother-in-law was sick in bed with a fever, and as soon as Jesus arrived, he was told about her. He went to her, took her by the hand, and helped her up. The fever left her, and she began to wait on them. After the sun had set and evening had come, people brought to Jesus all the sick and those who had demons. All the people of the town gathered in front of the house. Jesus healed many who were sick with all kinds of diseases and drove out many demons. He would not let the demons say anything because they knew who he was. Very early the next morning, long before daylight, Jesus got up and left the house. He went out of town to a lonely place where he prayed. But Simon and his companions went out searching for him. And when they found him, they said, "Everyone is looking for you." But Jesus answered, "We must go on to the other villages around here. I have to preach in them also, because that is why I came." So he traveled all over Galilee, preaching in the synagogues and driving out demons. That's the gospel for today. And these are the central characters, facts, items, and activities presented in this gospel. Jesus left the synagogue at Capharnaum where he was teaching on a Sabbath and went to the home of Simon and Andrew. Simon's mother-in-law was sick in bed with a fever, and Jesus healed her, and she began to wait on them. After the sun had set, people brought to Jesus all the sick and those who had demons. Jesus healed many who were sick with all kinds of diseases and drove out many demons. Jesus would not let the demons say anything because they knew who he was. And everybody was there from town. Early next morning, Jesus left the house and went to a lonely place to pray, but Simon and his companions who went out searching found him and said, everyone is looking for you. Jesus told them that we must go on to the other villages around here. I have to preach in them also, because that is why I came. So he traveled all over Galilee, preaching in the synagogues and driving out demons. In this gospel, we can identify at least 7 important teachings. Our reflections for today. Teaching number 1. Jesus has the authority and the power to heal any illness and to drive out demons. There are people nowadays that may not believe in miraculous healing. I do. And many other well-informed Christians all over the world. Anyone has the right to claim that they don't believe, that they are skeptics. But for a Christian, it's very difficult to ignore the fact that miracles do happen. You have Jesus healing somebody and Jesus expelling a demon from somebody. Last Sunday, the Gospel narrates Jesus teaching with authority in a synagogue. After he finished, he left and went to the home of Simon and Andrew. Jesus was told that Simon's mother-in-law was sick in bed with a fever, and Jesus healed her. He was told. Then she began to wait on them. This was not only an example of a well-mannered behavior from a hostess. We can clearly see that it was a way from her to thank the Lord for her healing. Anyone who has been healed through the intervention of Jesus may find worthwhile to thank him by performing some kind of service for the people, getting involved with their parish, and put their God-given talents to good use. We also find this miracle in Luke 4:38-41. Peter's mother-in-law. Peter had been with Jesus all day in the synagogue, but at his home, his wife's mother was very sick. Her temperature was very high. When Peter came home, Jesus was with him. Jesus took the lady's hand and she was healed. She got up and found Jesus and his friend something to eat and drink to thank him for healing her. Issue number 3. People brought to Jesus all the sick and those who had demons. Jesus healed many who had who were sick with all kinds of diseases and drove out many demons. This miracle teaches us that Jesus has power and authority over illnesses and demons. If you get an illness that our God-given amazing immune system apparently can handle, we know that God gave us doctors, natural and man-made resources to heal us, among other things. It's evident that the sick and the ones who have evil spirit and demons may have physical or mental impediments to go to Jesus on their own. It looks like an instruction for Christians to become actively involved and take to Jesus anybody who needs his help. People brought to Jesus all the sick and those who had demons. And he healed them and expelled the demons out of them. What does the Catechism say about healing from an illness or from an exorcism? With an exorcism, a sacramental. expelling demons or evil spirits. There are two distinct miracles in this gospel. The healing of 6 people. Catechism of the Catholic Church, paragraph 1673, says this about healing sick people. Illnesses, especially psychological illnesses, is a very different matter. Treating this is the concern of medical science. Therefore, before an exorcism is performed, it is important to ascertain that one is dealing with the presence of the evil one and not an illness. The liberation of people possessed by evil spirits and demons. Catechism 673 says, an exorcism is directed at the expulsion of demons or to the liberation from demonic possession through the spiritual authority which Jesus entrusted to his church. Issue number 4. Everybody was there. It may look like a kind of a wasted good opportunity to let everybody know who Jesus was. But Jesus will not let the demons say anything because they knew who he was. Remember that in the last Sunday gospel, when the evil spirit possessing the man said to Jesus, I know who you are. You are God's holy messenger. Jesus expelled the evil spirit from the possessed man, but he ordered the spirit, be quiet and come out of the man. It would have been totally wrong that an evil spirit or a demon would have been the one to reveal to the world that Jesus was indeed God's holy messenger, the promised Messiah. You have a Jesus preaching and healing, and everybody was there. Issue number 5. There is a need to pray before we start anything. Early next morning, Jesus left the house and went to a lonely place to pray. Before starting the new day, Jesus went to a lonely place to pray. Jesus was teaching us the importance of praying, the importance of prayer to our Father before doing anything. Teaching number 6. The existence of demons is exposed in this gospel, but the authority of Jesus over them is revealed, which is different. In the miracle about Jesus healing a man with an evil spirit in Mark chapter 1, 21, 28, the existence of evil spirits was exposed. This miracle is similar. The existence of demons is as well exposed, but they appear to be somewhat different. Neither of the two miracles explains the difference between evil spirits and demons, but what matters is very clear. Jesus has authority and power over both of them. There is power in the name of Jesus. Teaching number 7. Jesus told them the reason why he came. We must go on to the other village around here. I have to preach in them also, because that is why I came. To preach, to tell us about the good news, to redeem us. To announce us the coming of the kingdom of heaven. Some key concepts that you may find useful to remember. Jesus revealed why he came to preach the good news of the arrival of the promised Messiah for the redemption of mankind. Jesus has authority and power to heal us from everything, including illnesses, evil spirits, and demons, and they may use any and all the resources available, including prayers, intercession, medicine, and doctors to heal us. We need to tell Jesus when somebody needs his help. He was told about Peter's mother-in-law. So we need to tell Jesus when somebody needs his help. It's not that he doesn't know. It looks like we need to tell him, to ask him to intercede. We need to be grateful for any healing that we have received from Jesus and serve his people in any way we can, putting our God-given talents to good use. And we also need to get actively involved and intercede with Jesus for anybody who needs his help and is willing to accept it. So let me ask you some review questions. Why did Jesus came? What can we learn from Peter's mother-in-law when Jesus healed her? What was revealed in this miracle? Revealed, not exposed, revealed in this miracle. What is expected from us in relation to people who may need Jesus' help? This is the end of this mini workshop. This gospel was the gospel for the 5th Sunday of the ordinary time for 2021. See you next Sunday. Please don't forget.